because his mom said he had to, okay? Books are so exciting, guys, aren't they? So exciting. So how are you, an otaku? But this is the OG, if you know what I mean. What's up, friends? It's Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka J&D, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is basically a book haul, what I got for Christmas, but basically a book haul because all I really got for Christmas was books, which is everything I ever needed. So I have no qualms with that. I'm basically going to jump straight into it. I have some books that were sent to me and one non-bookish thing that I guess I could start with that I'm very excited for. I will throw a disclaimer out there. I do really know my privilege, and I am very lucky to come from an extended family that's big, and they all love me enough to send me books and stuff. I did also drop hundreds of dollars on them, so it's a process. It's something my family does, and I do really recognize my privilege, and I only share the books because I'm so excited for them and I want to share them with you, so hopefully it doesn't look like I am bragging, but you know, you're not gonna watch. The first non-bookish thing, I did get a few other non-bookish things, but they're very small, like a very cute pin and necklace and stuff, but this is probably something you're gonna see on my channel. Well, that is like the worst side to show you. I don't know if you can tell, but it's 80 watercolor sets. It's massive, and like tons and tons of variation of color, so hopefully I can get to do some more painting with it. I'm really excited for it. I love painting. And then a few books that were sent to me. Firstly, some bookish friends sent me, I already mentioned this in my last vlog, that Mina from Mina Reads, I will link her channel below, sent me Get a Life by Chloe Brown, which I know is like a beloved book in the booktube world. Romance. I think Chloe Brown has near death experience and decides to make a bucket list and try and spark love in her life and joy. Let's see what the first sentence is. First sentence is, once upon a time Chloe Brown died. That's the first sentence. Literally the next is nearly. What a cute start. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this soft little romance very soon. The next book I got was from Alana from Awkward Books, or Alana's Awkward Books. I'll link her channel down below too, but she's so freaking sweet. She got me Yona of the Dawn, volume 26. I will eventually collect all of them, but I'm so excited. If you don't know, Yona of the Dawn is literally my favorite manga series. 26 volumes. Yes, I'm that deep into the series. It's an incredible story about a really privileged girl princess whose father gets slaughtered by the person she was in love with, and she basically tries to learn how to defend herself. And there's legendary 4 dragons that are supposed to protect the red dragon, and she's supposedly the red dragon, but there's a bloodline. It's very like politically active. There's so much happening, very action-packed, and there's a romance. So it's everything you'd want a manga to be without being so overly cheesy. So it's like perfection. I obviously can't read you the first line of this because it's the 26th volume, nor does it have like a first line really, but it's a beautiful series. If you haven't heard of it, you should definitely check it out. The next book that was sent to me from the publisher is Dance for the Gods. This is also a sequel to a series. I will link it down below. It comes from an indie publishing house, so you should definitely check it out. African fantasy. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm halfway through the first book, which is A Cry to War. Very interesting. I love like the magic system so far, but yeah, loving it. And they sent it to me, so thank you. Oh, books are so exciting, guys, aren't they? So exciting. Okay, the next book, I was so happy that she emailed me because I wrote a Goodreads review on her first book, Sophie Gonzalez's Only Mostly Devastated, which I read because of the Irish Reader. They asked, do you want to flick an arc of Perfect on Paper, which is basically a girl who gives like romantic advice to people through a locker, but her life isn't the best, like romantically. So it's like, why are you giving advice? So I think it's like a secret, and I believe she's bi too. I know this has some LGBTQ, like YA plus something in here. I don't know if she's bi or lesbian, but I know there are some LGBTQ plus characters in here. I'm very excited for it. Only Mostly Devastated was very cute, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't read it. Let's see, the first sentence is, Everyone in school knows about locker 89, the locker on the bottom right at the end of the hall near the science labs. I mean, not the most like gripping sentence like Get a Life by Chloe Brown. It's very gripping. But this definitely is going to be that cute rom-com feel. And also they sent a really cute bookmark. Do you see that? It's Wednesday's bookmark. Very cute. It comes out, I believe, March. So I'm gonna hopefully read it in February, like for the romantic season. Okay, now diving into all the books that my lovely parents sent me. There are so many. I'm not gonna summarize them all, or else we'd be here for 55,000 years. And I'm sure some of y'all would love that. And I'm sure a majority of us, including myself, would die of boredom. So let's get into it. Here is one thing I'm so excited for. It's The Borrowers. I don't know if I'm showing you the right side of the box. Oh, they're both the same. The Borrowers by Mary Norton. So this was a series I read as a child, and I think it stemmed a lot of my need for like small toys. Like I was definitely a Polly Pocket collector. Let me know down below if you were. If you know what that is, where you have like mini toys. So this is a story about people who live inside a regular house, but these are small people and they borrow things to survive, and they've created a house, and it's about them trying to keep their secret life in the house, but I think they eventually get caught, and it's just a whole fun whimsical series that I'm hoping to reread as an adult to see if I like it, but also just to collect it because I like to share the story with my kids. And I know this was the inspiration for Arrietty, the movie that came out on Netflix, which I mean, it was a cute movie, but this is the OG, if you know what I mean. So I can't wait to check it out again and see if it brings back all the whimsical feelings. I guess I could try and read you the first sentence. It's hard to get them in and out of the box. It was Mrs. May who first told me about them. No, not me. How could it have been me, a wild, untidy, self-willed little girl who stared with angry eyes and would say to crunch her teeth? I just want to keep reading, but I won't. Okay, so that was a really sweet book set to get for my family. Okay, this one I'm hyped for. I'm really wanting to get more into like science fiction, especially adult science fiction. So I got some Dune. Okay, we all know I love Zendaya. If you don't, I love Zendaya. The fact that she's in Dune, so exciting. But I do also know that this is a really well-renowned series, and the fact that it has so many books, I mean, there's so much content out there, and it's gonna be a journey. I can't wait to read it before the movie comes out. Yeah, let's get to the first sentence. Watch it not make sense or give me too many science fiction-y words. In the week before their departure to Acris, when all the final scurrying about reached a nearly unbearable frenzy, an old crone came to visit my mother of the boy Paul. They're scurrying about. I bet they're about to leave the planet or something cool. Science fiction is so fun. Next book that I got was another book by Jacqueline Whitson. She is an autobiography author. I really love her work. So let's see, this is Before the Ever After, which just sounds so sweet. I wonder, okay, so part 1, 1999. Jacqueline Whitson always writes in the past, I feel like, almost 2000s and like 90s and stuff like that, so it's very interesting. The first sentence is, memory like a movie. The memory goes like this. Ollie got the ball and he's running across the yard when Dad comes out of nowhere, soft tackled him to the ground. That's the first sentence. Oh, and see, look, there's two people. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna destroy all of my feelings. I don't want to read the summary because this is 150 pages only, so I feel like it's gonna be a quick ride of wild emotions, and Jacqueline Whitson always has me crying, so we'll see. The next book I actually did read, and I'm so happy to finally have a physical copy. It is Saltly Bittersweet. I know the cover is kind of hard to see because there's so much white, but it's a stunning cover. Like, she's beautiful. It is a girl studying to be a chef in Paris, and she is Cuban, which is, if you don't know, I'm Cuban, so we're all so excited. She's Cuban, Black, and French, and she's living with her dad. They just recently got divorced, and this is after high school, and she's in a culinary competition. But is culinary really the place she wants to go into in the future? She's like studying to be a chef who gets Michelin stars, so it's like really tough, serious, crack-ass business, you know what I mean? So chapter 1, the perfect souffle. Happiness, like love, arrives through the kitchen. At least that's what my abuela Lala used to say. This story is so cute and well written, in my opinion. It talks a lot about life and like chasing your dreams, and is your dream really your dream or just an idealistic version of how you want the world to like be. So good. Highly would recommend. I've read that one. So the next one I got, so excited. I'm so excited for all these books. If I keep repeating that, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, and I'm so excited. Okay, first of all, this edition, beautiful, beautiful. So this is The Weight of Stars, but this another science fiction. Ooh, the universe is full of second chances. I know so many people have raved about this book, so I can't freaking wait. So the first sentence, Dawn, is what I think the chapter is called. She woke up to the sound of screaming. Oh, the second sentence, she always woke up to the sound of screaming. This book my sister gave me because she thought I would like it. I'm really not too sure what it's about, but it's called Otaku, which if you don't know, in like Japanese culture, if you're really obsessed with anime and manga, you're an otaku. And as I previously said, I really love manga and I really love anime. I am a shoujo fan because I'm more leaning towards the feminine side of like the romantic side. Like I'm all about my romance, so that's why I like shoujo so much. But I have watched shonen stuff, so if you know Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, the standard stuff. But I am interested to see what this is about, if it actually is about otaku culture or not, because I believe she's in America. Yeah, she's in Miami. So are you an otaku? Question mark. First chapter, called Newbie. I pull my dagger from the chimera's eye with the sound like someone sucking soda, leather strapped hilt molded by my palm. Oh, she's got a dagger in a chimera's eye. That sounds horrible. Very interesting. Chimera, what? Okay, so definitely fantasy for sure, high fantasy. I'm really interested to read this now. And look how pink it is. How fun. I'm so excited. I'm really hyped for this book. It is lighted up. I really liked how it went down by this author, so I'm really interested to read more of her work. So if you don't know how it went down, it was a story about a boy who was shot by the police, and it gave us literally every single perspective that witnessed it, who knew the boy, his sister, his parent. It was so nice to have a story that wasn't just like good, bad. It was all about, why label this person good or bad? They died and they didn't have to die, period. It was such a good book, so I'm really interested to see what this is about. We love that contemporary feel. Okay, so the first page is the incident. At the end of the day, a girl is dead. That sounds so sad. Maybe it's winter, maybe she had a black ski hat on, maybe she's running. Interesting. This first paragraph is all like the maybes of the situation. I love how she just uses plot devices in her like storytelling. It's so cool. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm so excited. The next one, if you've been on my channel, I do like A Blade So Black, so I finally got the sequel, A Dream So Dark by L.L. McKinley. So this is a part of the Dark Nightmare-verse series. I know the third one's coming out soon. I'm really looking forward to it. The first book had such a cliffhanger, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. I obviously can't read you the first sentence because it's probably spoilers, but basically this is a Alice in Wonderland retelling, but very urban. We have the parallels of being in our current world and we having to protect Wonderland, because if we don't, like, nightmares will seep through and start to like wreck humanity, all the humans on the earth. So Alice and the Mad Hatter are a team, and they're like monster fighters, and it's just really fun and super like urban fantasy. So very, very hyped to continue the series. And look at that cover. Ooh. moving to the next stack. Oh my god, there's so much here. If you're still watching, man, you're the real MVP. This book is so interesting. My family got it because they know I really like black lit and reading about it. So this book is Afrofuturism, the world of black sci-fi and fantasy culture. And I believe it has many authors in it, and it was edited by one. But it's just talking about how Afrofuturism has shaped writing, how it's a movement. So the first page says, when I was in 4th grade, I was Princess Leia for Halloween. And that's because Princess Leia was like, you know, a badass woman in science fiction, but at the same time, she's white. And it's like, do we have any strong females in who are black in science fiction and stuff like that, that, you know, everyone else can look up to it, you know, just the parallels. So I think this is going to be a really interesting read to like just expand my mind and understanding as a young adult. You know, I should dive into more non-fiction reads, and especially one that talks about Afrofuturism seems really up my alley as I start to dive more into like adult sci-fi and things like that. I'm so sorry about the mess that is my bed. There's just a lot going on. And then I also received The Promise, which is the first Avatar comic that follows our heroes after the last Avatar. So if you don't know, and it was so cool, I was looking through the comic the other day and I was going to start reading it, and the first page is, you know, water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. It's just so sweet. I can't wait to start the comic series because I know we're gonna learn more about Zuko's past and his mom in the comics. So I'm hyped. I'm excited and hyped. Okay, I need to diversify my vocabulary, but right now I'm just excited and hyped. The next is also another comic book. It is Beast Boy. Okay, first of all, I love this artist. I follow them on Instagram. So this is the sequel. The first book was about Raven. This one is about Beast Boy. If you watched the Teen Titans as a young kid, like the last Avatar, Teen Titans, my favorite shows. I'm so elated that I'm trying to find another word, that they are giving us Teen Titans content, because I know that the TV series was shut down again. Like, we were supposed to get a newer animation. Like, we got Young Justice, which is cool, but obviously doesn't include all the characters, and it's just different. We were supposed to get a continuation of Teen Titans, like the OG Teen Titans, and they got canceled. So this is second best, and it's still great, and I really love the art style of this. So if you don't know, check it out. There's gonna be, I hope, a volume for every character, and then volumes following where shit slayed and things, like, it gets more complicated. So I'm hoping this isn't just going to be a 5-book series. I'm hoping this is going to be a long series, because that's what I want. Give me never-ending content. Thank you. I'm not asking for that much, please, gosh darn. This next book is Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I've really been enjoying Mary Lou's writing. I've always enjoyed her. I've never picked up one of her books and not enjoyed it. Like The Young Elites, Warcross. I recently read The Kingdom of Back, and now new fantasy, Sky Hunter. Let's read the first sentence. I really don't know anything about this besides that Mary Lou wrote it, and there's a cute map. Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay, first sentence. Ghosts travel in packs. I'm so ready to read this book. That was such a beautiful sentence, and it was so short. Oh, she knows the way into my heart, Mary Lou. You know. This is okay, so this is the 4th book in the series. If you don't know An Ember in the Ashes, I don't know what hole you live under, but I will help you out of it. An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir is a large fantasy, I would say high fantasy, but it kind of almost sometimes feels urban fantasy. But then of course, like, the 3rd book opens your eyes to the world even more so. But basically, it's so hard to explain. This is obviously the 4th and last installment, and it's so freaking gorgeous. It is all about Laia, who is a slave at the beginning of the story, and she is working hard to try and free her brother, who was just arrested and detained, and her parents had been killed and her grandparents had been killed, and she sells herself into slavery to kind of figure out how to help the rebellion and save her brother at the same time. so much craziness is happening. And then we have Elias, who is one of the oppressors. He works for the Empire, and he is like a, I wouldn't call him a scythe, but he literally, he kills. That's his job. That's his thing. He's a killer. And he's been preparing for it all his life. And is it meant to be his life? Does he want it? Is he trying to escape? Does he fall in love with Laya? All things. We don't know. We're gonna figure it out. I also received Black Sun, which has gotten so many raving reviews for another high fantasy book. Can you tell the theme? Like, yes, I love contemporary, and I've been reading so much YA contemporary this year. I think I'm finally getting into that sci-fi feel, you know what I mean? Sci-fi fantasy. Ooh. So, and this author I'm really excited to dive more into. This is supposed to be a big series, like a trilogy possibly, so I'm looking forward to it. There's gonna be gods and stuff. Look how beautiful this map is. Gorgeous. Okay. Let's check out the first sentence. Yeah, there's gods and stuff. It's gonna be lit. We got a little helper to figure out who's a part of which house and what cities and what clans and mountains there are. Okay, chapter 1. I'm going to skip the quote that's above it because that's not really the first sentence. So the first sentence is, today he would become a god. That's the second sentence. His mother had told him so. Imagine that. Today, he becomes a god. Because his mom said he had to, okay? This just seems fun. And just from that first sentence, I can already tell that the writing style is right up my alley. Humor, but at the same time, impactful, bigger than life, the drama, the angst. Okay, I'm done. Okay, these next two books, I will haul them together. And that is the second and third installment of the Black Witch Chronicles. So if you didn't watch my Vlogmas vlogs, I had 3 of them up, and one of them I read The Black Witch by Louis Forest, and I loved it so much. It's definitely one of my favorite books of this year. It was so good, I immediately had to pick up the next 2 installments, and it's like 600 pages, but it's so worth it. Basically, it's a story of this realm, or like a part of the world where history has kind of, how do I explain the extensiveness of this world? Basically, there was a black witch who conquered a lot of land and enslaved a lot of creatures. So there's like mer people, there's selkies, there's icarals, who are like winged creatures. There are so many, there's shape-shifting like werewolf people, but they're not called werewolves. There's so many people, and then there's obviously the mages, who kind of won the recent war in the last like 3 generations, and they're oppressing everyone, and they're trying to vote everyone out of like the realm, either to enslave them or to kill them. Bad juju. But this book really does talk about like racism and prejudice, and how a sheltered girl, who is like the main protagonist, goes from being fearful of all the creatures, thinking they're all like dumber than her, and you know, belligerent, and you know, all the things that that races tend to do to each other, and then realizing they're not true, and learning the real history about the wars and why both sides are kind of, no, there's no good or evil, there was just a war, we were fighting over a land. And yeah, but of course there's also a religious aspect of like, we are the God's chosen ones, we must reign the earth to help cleanse the evil. There's a lot, and it's a university setting for the first book. I'm wondering if it'll continue for the second and third, but that was a very long explanation, and basically I'm so hyped for this. These 2 books are everything. The last 3 books, let's do it. I have Nocturna. Books are falling. I did not stack these books well. I have Nocturna, which one of my friends, my booktube friends, has always been recommending, Julie. I'll link her channel below. The sweetest human being ever. She literally did a live show about this book, and I just didn't have the book or like an ARC or an audiobook of it, so I was like, okay, I'll wait till I can get it. And when Christmas came around, I was like, yo guys, if you could hook me up, and they did. So I know there's a lot of comparisons from this to The Gilded Wolves or some book, but Julie's like, nah, you need to read it, sis. So I'm like, okay, I trust you, I'm gonna read it, sis. I got you. Chapter 1. The Prince Without a Future. That's the title of the chapter. Interesting. A prince always comes home. That's the first sentence. Interesting. I don't know what else to say. I'm interested. I would use the E word, but I know I use it too much. I'm excited. But I am. And then this one, I recently started following a certain Instagrammer who is recommending indigenous books. So besides Black Sun, obviously, I got this one, Winter Counts, by David Haskell. His name? David. I'm so bad with names. I honestly saw that this was indigenous and was like, let's do it. And it's a thriller. And I'm like, hell yeah. I need more thrillers in my life. Let's do it. It's gotten raving reviews. I think Jessie from Bowties and Books has also read this, if I'm not mistaken. There was a lot of reviews from reviewers that I trust that say that this is good. So, it's gonna be good. The first sentence is, I lean back in my seat of my old Ford Pinto, listening to the sounds coming from the depot, the reservation's only tavern. Thriller. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Let's see. Yeah, Virgil is a local enforcer. When justice is denied by American legal system or the council, Virgil has hired to deliver his own punishment, the kind that is hard to forget. That wasn't the whole blurb, but that was some of it. I'm here for it. Say it with me, y'all. I'm excited. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and the last book, oh my god, this video is 25,000 years long, but the last book that I'm so grateful for all of these books, and they're gonna give me so much joy, and I literally have no excuse to buy any books for the rest of the year, or at least for the next 20 reads. The last book is The Year of the Witching. Everyone has been talking about this book. It was up for a Goodreads nomination. It's supposedly horror, but for some people it's not horror-esque. Not too sure. Basically, it's about witches, and I'm here for it. I think it's going to be great. I hope it's, for me, leaning on the less horror-y side, because if you're a girl, don't like horror. But I think reading horror is a little different. I don't mind reading horror because I could just skip the stuff that really grinds my gears. Okay, the first chapter is called The Beast, and the first sentence is, she was born breech in the deep of night. Breech. Oh, is that when you're like, your feet go first? The midwife Meredith had to seize her by the ankles and drag her from her womb. Ooh, that visual was just not good for my soul. That is everything that I got for Christmas, and that's bookish related that I wanted to share with you guys. I really hope you liked this video. Comment down below if you have read any of these books or are excited for them, or if you got a book that you're really excited about for this year. I know this year has been really hard, very stressful. There's a lot of things happening in people's personal lives, and I just want to take the time to say that I love you, that you are a strong, dependable person. You deserve happiness no matter what you're going through, and that I hope my channel can bring you a little bit of joy and peace for the 20 some minutes you've been watching this video, which is just obscenely long, but I'm here for you. I'll be uploading consistently, so you stay tuned. All the feels. I'm there with you all, going through all the personal stuff too, so you are not alone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I gave you a little bit more sunshine, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.